this is the last move for our reversal to the upside. And it has to be our last move. Why? Because if it isn't, then we're not in impulse, right? Because we're pretty much at the 382 right here, as you can see. We're pretty much at the 382, and we all know that a wave 4 correction cannot proceed beyond the 382. It can wick beyond, but not proceed beyond the 382. So that's what I'm seeing on the charts, and that's why I'm seeing it. Hello, everyone. My name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is March 3rd, 2022, and Bitcoin is in the final stages of its fourth wave correction, right? What does that mean? If you're interested in finding out what I'm seeing on the Bitcoin charts, what I'm planning for, what my next trade is, what my next big trade is, then watch until the very end. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to do that, and let's get on with it. All right, Bitcoin is currently, as we speak, as we record, dumping majorly, right? But this dump is something that we expected. The read wasn't exactly this. Nevertheless, we did expect a dump to between the 236 and the 382, right? The 236 represents the minimum retracement of a wave 4 correction, and the 382 the maximum, right? So that's what I said yesterday. Although I did say yesterday that I thought we were going to go higher first, okay? And significantly so, but we didn't, okay? And what happened? We got into this structure, which I believe is wave 4 correction, okay? And that wave 4 correction got as high as about 44K. And then actually I was in a long, and my stop was at the 0786 of the impulse, okay? This right here, let's zoom in so you can see this. My stop was at the 786 of this impulse. Why? I was expecting a larger impulse to the top side of the range, but we didn't get it. Yet I was still able to get stopped out for minimal gain, not minimal loss, minimal gain. And I was able, once we hit this, breach the 786, to turn my long into a short, right? And I'm only sharing this not to brag or anything, but these are lessons I've learned the hard way, losing a lot of money. For me, what is a lot of money? Making these mistakes over and over. Don't rely on your ability to read charts to trade. I know that sounds weird. I know that sounds counterintuitive. You're going to get a lot of things right if you're a good chartist, okay? But you're also going to get things wrong. And you're going to get things wrong a decent amount of time. Maybe 7 out of 10 calls are correct. That means 3 out of 10 are incorrect. You only need one big loss to set back a whole slew of gains, right? And I always tell the story. I used to go on, I still do, go on 13 to 15 trade win streaks. Actually, now it's better. But actually, no, now it's different. Because I hated to lose. I still hate to lose. The difference is, before I didn't lose at all, but then when I lost big. So those 13 to 15 wins were essentially nullified by that one loss. But now I lose ever so often, but I always lose relatively small. I control the loss, right? I define the loss before it defines me, all right? And this is the key. This was kind of the last step to my breakthrough in trading. And I just want to share this because I know there has to be someone out there watching this video that is a decent chartist that makes sense of the moves, but for some reason can't get your skills to reflect in the P&L. And I'll tell you why. It's all risk management. Once you understand that out of the 5 outcomes of a trade, you can either win big, you can lose big, you can win small, you can lose small, or you can break even. If you eliminate the lose big, you win at trading. Once you understand that, then your whole life changes, quite literally, right? You'll make more money than you thought you could make, and you'll be sustainable, and you'll start taking advantage of compound interest. I know this is kind of a I'm going into kind of the weeds of trading, but I think this is very important, and I think a lot of people who do subscribe to this channel don't just want to find out the price of Bitcoin or what Bitcoin's doing just for nothing, but it's because you're traders, and that quite literally changed my life. That insight changed my life. I went from hating stops. I remember I can see it. I have a line in my trade journal that says I hate stop losses in all caps, to absolutely loving stop losses, because a stop loss represents, I know what it means. I've been trapped in longs, trapped in shorts, where I lost 50% of my portfolio, and thinking, if I only could go back and take that small loss, I would. I'll never not have a stop loss again. So that makes me love stop losses. I went from hating stop losses to loving stop losses. I don't know that you can be successful at trading until you love stop losses, right? So what is the price doing? I read it wrong yesterday, okay? I read this B wave, sorry. I read this B wave as, or sorry, this A wave, this initial break of structure as coming all the way here. However, I think now it was here. That was A. And this is B. That makes so much more sense, because this impulsive move right here is the last wave of the B wave, which is the C wave of B, okay? So this, what I've numbered here as an impulse is my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is my descending diagonal. Is my triangle, or it is my impulse to the downside, my last move for correction. This is why I believe that Bitcoin is on the verge of reversing course, okay? This is the last move for our reversal to the upside, and it has to be our last move. Why? Because if it isn't, then we're not an impulse, right? Because we're pretty much at the 382 right here, as you can see. We're pretty much at the 382, and we all know that a wave 4 correction cannot proceed beyond the 382. It can wick beyond, but not proceed beyond the 382. So that's what I'm seeing on the charts, and that's why I'm seeing it. And so I'm going to take profit on my short soon, if it hasn't yet taken profit, and then I'm going to look for longs. And my next long target, as I said before, is simply the 55K region. I'm not going to overtrade an impulse to the upside, given that the general trend is to the upside. So I'm going to let it do what it does in the way it wants to do it, right? Like you can see, these candles, these impulsive candles to the upside are super volatile. They're super quick. There's no reason to find intermittent targets, I don't think. So I'm going to simply, now that we have a nice right shoulder for our inverse head and shoulders, I'm going to simply take off this tool. I'm going to simply take the target of this pattern right here, right? This larger inverse head and shoulders that we formed. And now we have a nice left shoulder, and we have a nice right shoulder that we've just formed, right? So I'm going to take this target, and the neckline is going to be, let's say, the 236 or thereabouts. And so see, this is about 53K right here. Turn the log on. It's still about 53K, okay? It's about 53K. So I'm going to set my target to 53K, not 55K. And let's zoom out even more. That target should be confluent once again with our 73-day or 76-day downtrend, which is what I believe to be our wave 1 of 5 to the downside. Okay, so I'm going to, let's see. There we go. So on the log scale, it makes sense. Yeah, 52.8. 52.8 is my target because that's where my 618 is. That's where I'm taking profit. That's where the target of this inverse head and shoulder is. 52.8 is where my next take profit is for this long on Bitcoin. All right. Like I said, just TLDR, I'm going long very soon. I believe that this correction to the downside is almost complete. And the reason why is we have 3 waves in, okay, and we're close to the 382, which is the maximal retracement for any wave 4 correction. So that's what I'm seeing in the charts, and that's why I'm seeing it. If you appreciate a look into my trading journal, trading insights, how I've turned myself from a losing trader into a profitable trader, despite making charting errors, right? You see, if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll see me make mistakes all the time. I will, I misread that A wave as being more than it was, and I didn't see the B wave for what it was. I anticipated the B wave would come up higher, yet and still I was profitable, right? Using good risk management. If you appreciate all of that, like the video, share with other traders, struggling traders you think who could do better, because we're all kind of in this together. We're all a community. It's a lonely business. And subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Trade safe. Bye.